There is breaking news tonight about the man who has been called a doomsday cult killer. Chad Daybell was sentenced to the death penalty today, convicted of killing 2 children and his ex-wife.
The circumstances surrounding Chad Daybell's wife's death added to the mystery surrounding the case. As the investigation deepened, disturbing details emerged about Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell's bizarre religious beliefs and doomsday prophecies. Brace yourself for a wild ride as we unravel the mysteries of Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell's twisted tale. Chad Daybell, a native of Provo, Utah, was born and raised in a devout Mormon household. His upbringing was centered around the teachings and beliefs of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or LDS. He attended Brigham Young University, a predominantly LDS college, and graduated with a degree in journalism. After earning his degree, Chad began his career as a copy editor at the Stanford Examiner in Ogden, Utah. Chad's passion for writing led him to pursue his literary aspirations more actively. He wrote fiction and used his writing skills to express his beliefs and teachings regarding the apocalypse and other Mormon religious matters. This passion led him to establish Spring Creek Book Company, a platform through which he could publish his works. The books Chad wrote commonly centered around the apocalypse and the dystopian future that the world had been left in. One of his recurring themes involved his characters receiving instructions from a voice beyond. Over the next several years, Chad published several doomsday books and spoke during forums. During the 2010s, Chad began to prophesy earthquakes, war, and destruction in North America. In 2015, Chad informed his followers that he had received instructions from a mysterious voice beyond the veil to relocate to Rexburg, Idaho. Despite Chad Daybell's busy involvement in the LDS Church and his radical doomsday belief preachings and writings, he also made time for his family. As a student at Brigham Young University, Chad met Tammy, and married on March 9, 1990 in Manti, Utah. They had 5 children together: Garth, Emma, Seth, Leah, and Mark. Tammy, who assisted Chad in managing Spring Creek Book Company, was also a librarian. Lori Cox was born into a devout Mormon family on June 26, 1973. From an early age, she captivated everyone with her beauty. Her long blonde hair and bright smile lit up every room she entered. Despite abundant love from her family, friends, and admirers, she constantly sought romance. This relentless pursuit led her to marry 5 times while searching for the perfect partner. In 2001, she met Joseph Ryan, her 3rd husband. The couple welcomed a daughter named Tylee in 2002. In 2005, Lori made allegations that Joseph Ryan had mistreated Tylee. These allegations were investigated, but the evidence was never substantiated. However, in 2007, Lori's brother, Alex Cox, became involved after 2 years of contentious divorce and custody proceedings between Lori and Joseph. One night, Alex confronted Joseph, accusing him of mistreatment against Lori, his niece, and nephew. Alex attacked Joseph by tasering him in the chest. After the altercation, Alex was arrested and charged with aggravated assault. Those who knew Alex Cox agreed that he was incredibly loyal. There was not a limit to what Alex would do for Lori. In 2006, Lori married Charles Vallow, becoming wife number 4. Charles and Lori adopted his grandnephew, Joshua Jackson, also known as JJ. Charles's sister, Kay Woodcock, had a son named JJ with her partner. However, JJ's birth parents were unable to care for him, resulting in his adoption. JJ was born in 2013 with substances in his system and spent much of his time in the neonatal unit. He also was later diagnosed with autism. Despite adopting JJ, Charles and Lori allowed Kay and Larry to retain their roles as grandparents. However, around 2015, Lori started to exhibit significant changes in her behavior. Her beliefs became erratic, causing concern among her friends and family. These changes were fueled by her growing fascination with Chad Daybell's books. These books had a profound impact on her thinking and influenced her beliefs. As Lori's beliefs began to change, so did her behavior. She became more distant and secretive, leaving her family questioning her state of mind. Her interactions with others became unpredictable, leading to strained relationships, betrayal, and eventually, murder. Lori began showing an interest in Chad Daybell's religious books. Over the next few years, her beliefs began to radicalize. In October 2018, accompanied by 2 friends, Lori attended an event where she had the opportunity to meet her favorite author, Chad Daybell, for the first time. It was evident to Lori's friends that Lori and Chad had a strong connection. They noticed that Lori was flirtatious towards him. Over time, Chad formed a small religious group centered around his unique beliefs. He called this religious community the Church of the Firstborn. Lori and Chad claimed he was the church's leader. However, the teachings and beliefs of the Church of the Firstborn differed greatly from those of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. According to Chad's beliefs, there were dark people who were possessed by evil spirits and sometimes turned into zombies. These zombies were believed to be dangerous and contagious, causing harm to the living. Chad thought the only way to eliminate a zombie permanently was to kill it. By January 2019, Lori and Charles Vallow's marriage began to unravel. Lori allegedly discovered that Charles was having an affair. Lori canceled Charles's return flight. Secondly, she moved his truck from the airport parking lot and concealed its location, making it inaccessible. Additionally, Lori discarded Charles's belongings, including his clothes, removing any trace of his life from the home. Lastly, she drained his bank account. When Charles finally returned home and discovered the extent of Lori's actions, he called the police. He informed the officers that his wife was behaving strangely and relayed an interaction she had with him.
What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
In July 2019, Charles went to Lori's home in Chandler, Arizona to pick up their son, JJ. They were scheduled to take him to school that morning. Shortly after Charles's arrival, Alex Cox, Lori's brother, called 911 and stated that he had shot his brother-in-law Charles in the chest. He noted that Charles had approached him with a baseball bat, forcing him to defend himself.
What's the emergency there?
I got in a fight with my brother-in-law and I shot him in self-defense.
Lori arrived shortly after the police with her daughter Tylee in the car. She claimed she had taken their son JJ to Burger King for breakfast and school. However, the police found this explanation strange, as it seemed odd that she would leave her husband dying on the living room floor. The detectives interviewed Lori, Tylee, and Alex Cox, who repeated the same story. They stated that Charles had come to their house to drive JJ to school. However, he became angry and picked up a bat, allegedly attempting to attack Lori and Tylee. Alex then defended them by shooting Charles twice in the chest. Despite the seriousness of the situation, Alex faced no charges for his involvement in Charles' death. 1 month after the shooting, Lori packed her bags and relocated to Rexburg, Idaho, along with Tylee and JJ. Her brother, Alex Cox, also moved there with them. Before leaving, Lori sold JJ's service dog, which many thought was interesting, considering JJ's close bond with his dog and reliance on it due to his autism. However, JJ's dog wasn't the only thing about to disappear out of Lori Vallow's life. Soon, her children, Tylee and JJ, were nowhere to be found.
Where are your kids? No comment? They've been missing for 4 months. You have nothing to say?
I just kind of mouthed to her, I see you. I just wanted her to know that I saw her, and I said, mouthed, where are your children?
In September 2019, Tylee was last seen at Yellowstone National Park with her mother, Lori, brother, JJ, and uncle, Alex. After that, Tylee was never seen again. Lori never enrolled Tylee in any schools in Rexburg, Idaho, even though Lori told everyone Tylee was attending Brigham Young University. Several weeks later, JJ was last seen playing with a friend. The following day, Lori informed the Rexburg Elementary School that JJ would be homeschooled. On October 9th, 2019, 1 month after Tylee and JJ were last seen by anyone, Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife, had a disturbing encounter with a masked man in her driveway. According to Tammy's account, the man armed with a paintball gun fired at her several times, although the weapon was found to be unloaded. Tammy reported the incident to the police, who deemed it a prank and could not identify the perpetrator. Over a week later, on October 19th, Tammy passed away in her home, seemingly of natural causes. She was 49 years old, healthy and training for a marathon. Chad informed everyone the night before her death that Tammy went to bed with a bad cough and died in her sleep. He denied an autopsy, stating that his wife suffered from low blood pressure, seizures, and negative reactions to various medications. However, a later review of her medical records revealed that none of these claims were true. On November 5, 2019, exactly 2 weeks after Tammy's passing, Chad and Lori exchanged vows in an intimate ceremony in Kauai, Hawaii. Only the two of them were in attendance. Upon returning to Rexburg, Idaho, Lori did not disclose her whereabouts to Larry and Kay Woodcock, JJ's grandparents.
The wedding between Lori and Chad Daybell was in Kauai.
That's right.
Were you invited?
No, I don't think anybody was there except for the two of them and whoever performed the services.
By November 2019, Kay and Larry had successfully located Lori's address and requested a welfare check on JJ. On November 30th, 2019, the Rexburg Police Department visited Lori's home to perform a welfare check on JJ, Chad Daybell, and Alex Cox, who were at the house when the police arrived. Alex, who did not know Kay had requested the welfare check, told the police that JJ was with her.
Chad, Lori, can you tell me where your kids are? Would you tell me what happened to JJ? Can you tell me where Tylee is?
As the police continued their search for JJ, they learned that Lori's older daughter, Tylee, was also missing. The authorities became even more concerned when they discovered that Chad's wife, Tammy, had died under mysterious circumstances. They decided to exhume Tammy's body and perform the autopsy that Chad had initially denied. In January 2020, Lori and Chad were living in Kauai, Hawaii, when they were ordered to physically show the children within 5 days to the Idaho Department of Welfare or the Rexburg Police Department. Because Lori failed to produce her children to the state of Idaho, she was charged with 2 felony counts of desertion and non-support of dependent children. From suspicious social media posts to conflicting accounts of the children's whereabouts, the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place, painting a disturbing picture of Lori and Chad's involvement in Tylee and JJ's disappearances. Due to Alex Cox's cell phone information indicating his presence in the area on the date and time when JJ and Tylee were last seen, investigators decided to search for the Daybell property. As the investigators dug, they found 2 bodies. Dental records confirmed the remains were Tylee and JJ. After the bodies of Tylee and JJ were confirmed to be buried in Chad Daybell's property, the carefully constructed world as a religious hero came crumbling down. Chad Daybell was eventually arrested and charged with felony murder after an autopsy determined that JJ had been asphyxiated with a plastic bag and duct tape over his mouth. The cause of Tylee's death could not be determined, and she was ruled a homicide by unspecified means. The results of the autopsy conducted on Tammy's body revealed that she had been asphyxiated. Chad and Lori, who were both indicted on charges of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, were also accused of grand theft by deception about the children. On June 9, 2021, Lori was indicted by a grand jury in Arizona on 1 count of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder for the death of Charles Vallow. The trials of Lori and Chad Daybell would reveal more information about their sinister deeds and the roles they played in hurting those they were supposed to love and protect the most. Lori's trial began on April 3, 2023 in Idaho. She pleaded not guilty to the charges against her. 1 month later, on May 10, 2023, she was found guilty on all charges and was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole. Chad Daybell's trial began in April 2024, and in May of the same year, he was found guilty and sentenced to death. The twists and turns in this ongoing case have left followers on the edge of their seats. One of the most significant aspects of this case is its impact on the public's perception of cults and doomsday beliefs. It is a cautionary tale about the dangers of falling victim to such ideologies. Get ready for another gripping installment that will leave you on the edge of your seat in our next video, The Pig Farmer's Deadly Secret, the Robert Pickton Story.